Order the village board regular meeting. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Kathy, can we have roll call again?
Straight these out.
Trustee Grabowski. Trustee Grabowski.
Here.
Trustee Gergen. Here. Trustee Rhodey.
Here.
Trustee Belt. Here. Trustee Krasovich.
Here.
Trustee Kreiser. Here. President Knutson.
Here. Okay, public hearings, we have none. Approval of the regular village board meeting dated May 7th, 2024. I hope everyone's had a chance to look them over. Are there any questions, comments, or corrections as the way they are presented this evening?
I just have one question.
Yes, Bob?
In the recommendation or the motion that was made in regard to the committee, I guess it would be 11D, essentially just says that we approved having the village president make the decision. Wasn't there more to it besides the decision on the consultant? Wasn't there more to it besides that?
There was a dollar figure.
Up to 25,000.
Yeah, but wasn't there also discussion in regard to an ad hoc group or something too?
Yeah, Kelly Woldansky and company.
No, I thought that, I made that motion, didn't I?
Yeah, the ad hoc.
No, I don't think there was, Bob. I think it was just up to 25,000.
It was.
No, it had nothing to do with, I'm not saying anything about the money. I thought it was you were in charge of making the decision in regard to the consultant and the ad hoc committee.
I thought my motion was, if I'm remembering correctly, I'm sorry if I'm not the one that made the motion, but I thought it was regarding, I was advised to say president's discretion on assembling the committee, or something along those lines, that the president had the overall authority to appoint the members to the ad hoc group.
So I'll take the blame for that. If in fact you're creating an ad hoc committee and the board is taking that formal action and identifying the participants, then that's an official committee of the board subject to having minutes and the open meetings law being followed, et cetera. So in other words, you could only meet then collectively in a public meeting that's been agendized, et cetera. Okay. Whereas, as I understood the motion, President Knutson was being authorized to enter into an agreement up to the dollar amount with a consultant, and that he would work with yourself, Trustee or Administrator Gussie, and also Kelly Woldansky for purposes of vetting or working with that consultant.
Maybe using the word ad hoc, but he was able to have the
Consult
ability
with,
to.
correct,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
That's what I understood, and I could be wrong too.
And that was my intention, and that's what your understanding was, so.
Okay.
As someone who wasn't here, having more clarity on that is appreciated, and how that committee, who's going to be on that committee and things like that.
So the question is, are you creating a committee, or are you just giving the authority to President Knutson to enter into the agreement, but recommending he consult with the individuals mentioned?
It is not a committee, which is why it's
Not a
not in the
committee,
minutes
it's
as
just
such.
consulting with other people.
So the minutes are accurate.
Yes, I think that's a long or short way of getting to the point of that, yes.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments? Do I have a motion then?
Motion approved. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, for clarity here, so then there'll be a special board meeting for interviews, so that whoever it comes for interviews, they'll be coming before the board, correct?
No.
No.
But if
For
you'd
what?
like, the meeting is available on Village of Pewaukee YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
And just getting a plug in there for anyone who's watching now.
So I think is your question the ultimate candidate or
Yes.
the firm that you're going to be
No, the
working with?
ultimate candidate.
Yeah, I think that the way it was presented was that actually you would have an interview of the candidate or, final group of candidates. I'm not sure how things will progress. That certainly will happen before the board. The idea was to give the village president and this, the ability to make the decision as to the consultant, to assist you in that process.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second, Krasovich.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby adopted. Citizen comments. This is an opportunity for citizens to share their opinions with board members on any topic they choose. However, due to Wisconsin open meeting laws, the board is not able to answer questions or respond to your comments. All comments should be directed to the board. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per speaker. Speakers are asked to use the podium and state their name and address for the record. Is there anybody here that would like to make a comment? Okay, then we're going to go on to item 5, ordinances. We have none. Item 6, resolutions. We have none. And item 7, old business. We have none. Item 8A, new business. Discussion and possible action on award of contract for well number 4 HMO treatment system. I hope everyone's had a chance to look this over. We've discussed this many times at other board meetings. Are there any questions or comments as it relates to this particular agenda item? If there are none, then I will look for a motion to approve or not.
I'll make a motion to approve, or I'm sorry, motion to award the contract for well number 4 HMO treatment system.
To
Mid-City Corporation,
Thank you. To Mid-City Corporation,
and their bid amount of
$2,982,000.
Second, Gergen.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Wait.
I'm sorry.
Wait.
Dave?
There's also a mandatory alternate one for a deduct. Intended to be included.
Of the 25,000.
So that's the 25,000 for the aggregate epoxy flooring? So you want that, but that's part of the 2,982,000, right? Okay, but you want that alternate included for that total then contract cost of 2,982,000.
Yep, so that's in the motion.
Okay. Motion stands then.
Second, okay with that?
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion and a second with the revised motion. Again, any other further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Discussion and possible action on replacement squad car purchase. I will ask if there's any questions as to what was presented to you. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Do you want to hear from the chief, or?
Yes, I'd like to hear from the chief.
Would you, I'm sorry?
She asked to hear from the chief
Oh,
on this.
okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, I've got some, this is actually a great opportunity to show you what our fleet of squads are.
Thank you.
Got one for everybody. See what years we operate, what the mileage. I got the mileage today for each of these, so this is all accurate.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you.
So before we added the SRO position, we had stripped down Squad 636 with 114,000 miles. That was going to go for auction. So it has no lights, no computer. All it is a marked car. It's got black and white with our sticker on it. So when you guys decided to add the SRO position, We didn't sell it, and we've been using that car to go to and from the school for the past year and a half. We are up on our outlay that we would automatically come to the board and say, hey, it's time to replace one of our squads. We generally have a 4-year squad rotation, which was changed. We used to have 3-year rotation, and then we changed it to stretch it out to 4 years. So we stripped that one, we were gonna sell it, and now we would be up to replace the next squad, which is 645. So what I'm here today is to, yes, we want to get rid of 636, a decoy empty car, and also get a new car to replace it, because now we take this to school every day. Now we need a cage in the back, we need computers, we need a rifle. The only problem is, in our outlay budget, we had only budgeted a lesser amount of $59,170, and that would have covered taking everything in a squad and putting in the new squad. Unfortunately, now that the prices of squads and everything have gone up in price, that price doesn't cover all the factors of upfitting a car, and the fact that this has nothing to give, we can't put it in a new car, we're gonna have to buy everything brand new. So that's where we increase the price. So we have to buy for this squad, because we added a new member of the department, we have to upfit it with radar and rifle and hold the rifle in place and a computer and everything else. So I'm not only here to increase that price from $59,000, but increase it even more so because we have to buy all brand new items.
Chief, is the new squad, so 636 would be gone.
636 gone, yes.
The new squad going to be the new SRO vehicle, or is the new squad going to be here and we're going to rotate, say, squad 640 up to be?
Yeah, everything would just change. What our goal here is to start filling some of our SRO squads with something that we can last not 4 years, but stretch it out to 8 years, 10 years perhaps. So what we do is we monitor the fleet on a regular basis to even it out. So for example, our number one the number one means that's first car out. So it's only got 21,000 miles, or just short of 22. So that's the one that they're going to take out every single day. That's the first one out. And then the next one out is the number 2 for assignments, for calls. So what we want to do is manage the fleet so that we can take a squad such as somebody with that 637 with no camera. We can put that in one of our, for example, WCTC, and we can perhaps keep the mileage down and get a longer period of time out of this. So, because there's a lot of costs involved, not only the purchase price of a car, which is now in like the $45,000 range, but it's transferring things from the cage and the computers from one squad to the next, and then we have to put stickers on and label it accordingly, and that's the price too.
Right, I'm just making sure that the brand new squad's not just going to be the
No, it's not
transport from here to school.
Nope,
and school.
no, it would go into the regular rotation as our number 1 squad to go out.
Perfect.
And we're gonna manage it where some of the other squads go into those positions where it goes to and from school. But just the other day, we had a gas leak on Hickory. All the squads were used up. So we had to actually get to the scene because we had direct traffic. And we use the UTV for the lake patrol, a UTV from our building to Hickory to bring a detective out to the scene because we still had no squads. We had a windshield that we had to use. So it looks like we have a lot of squads, but sometimes they're in the shop. Construction on Capitol Drive, we actually had 2 windshields get chipped that had to be replaced. One was just today. So sometimes these cars are in the shop and so forth. So. But it also provides a full, complete squad with everything up to date for safety reasons too. I mean, we're sending a squad that has nothing at all, not even a lights and a siren, to be traveling on our streets.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Scott, can you remind me, does the school district participate at all in
Yes, the school
in
district
outfitting?
contributes $5,000 per squad or per SRO, so $10,000 per year from the school district towards the vehicle.
And WCTC also provides
The
more.
8,000, plus they also contribute a certain amount of fuel and offset maintenance costs, so that's why there's a slight variation there.
Chief, why is there no camera on,
Camera broke, and we haven't fixed it. We haven't gotten it fixed yet. So right now, it's in a situation where we're looking at trying to fix it, but it's also in the, we put it in a lower used position that doesn't, it's not making the traffic stops and so forth. But that's something we have to look to get it fixed. So at this point, it's got no camera. And then later on, it'll go to 640. That's the one that the radar just broke this year in March. So that's why we're here for the second item on the agenda. So that's a car that has no radar.
And this is coming out of ARPA?
That's a source that the board realized, correct?
Are we seeing, so, because currently the SR2 card doesn't have all the add-on, doesn't have all the extra stuff on there, like
It
you
has
said.
nothing.
It has nothing.
It was
We see
stripped.
it
We totally stripped it. Well, we stripped it to put into
into the other new car.
like 641 got all the all the things from 636 went into 641.
And we're
So
seeing
we
a-
were
a
ready
new-
to get rid of it until the new SRO position came.
Right.
And we just sat with it for a while because we thought this was going to go through, and then we had a car from day one that we could use.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we would have been stuck.
But we're seeing a need to have that equipment in all the vehicles?
In all- yeah, we'd like to
even
have
the
it in all the
SROs,
vehicles that we
Just so
can-
they're
yep.
all accessible for use as,
And it's also a way to manage the fleet. And the whole, even though we're on a 4-year rotation now, we'd like to take some of these cars that drive to and from the school, stretch those out longer. As you can see, we're still driving a 2012. That's why I liked being able to present to you our fleet, because you can see we're driving a 2012 Crown Victoria, 12 years old, it's got 56,000 miles.
I drove my minivan for that long.
Yeah, but we want,
I'm like,
we're doing everything.
and?
That's a comfortable car also.
Yeah.
It's nicely molded.
Can I make a motion to approve the purchase of a replacement squad car at a cost not to exceed $92,000 coming out of ARPA funds?
Only extras, or wait, are all funds coming from our bank?
The difference.
The difference.
With the difference for the new cost coming out of ARPA? How about that?
Do I have a second?
I second that. Kaiser.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Item C, discussion possible action on purchase of in-squad and handheld replacement radars. Chief?
So, we currently, we re-up our radars and have them certified every single year. And 2 of our radars did not, actually 3 of them did not pass. One of them is in Squad 640, that's a fixed radar. And the other thing is this, this radar right here, this did not pass. This would be a handheld, so you can pick which car you want to look at. So this did not pass either. And the ones in, this is also great news, in some of these other squads, 3 other squads, the radar is from the 1990s. And this right here is from 2004. So we got 20 years out of this one. We also retired another one, again, 20 years old. And the one in 640 that broke, that was in our motorcycle previously. So when we had a motorcycle, we retired a motorcycle, we don't have any, and they were able to use that and put it in a squad car. So we reuse and put these things longer than the shelf life. So I talked to the dealer today, and he said the average radar is going to get you about 10 years, and we've far exceeded anything. So we don't have any radar in 640, and we don't have any mobile radar to use. I put in some of the citations just to see how much do we use radar. 167 citations for speeding in 2021. That is COVID. It went down because of COVID, less people on the roads. We were not making as many contact with people because we wanted to avoid people with a mask and stuff like that. But we've been consistent the last 2 years, 217 citations, 208 citations. When you look at 208 citations for speeding, minimally, it's over $25,000 worth of the amount of citations we issue. So we use all of these tools that you give us. And to not have two of them, it's just, it's something that is vital to what we do. We definitely use it. We had 2 of these mobile units, and we're only asking for 1 because we have it in our cars. Chances are we're not going to have 2 people out there doing radar at the same time. So again, fiscally responsible, as you can see, but we're just asking for 1 mobile unit.
Any questions? Can I have the old one so I can radar in my room?
There you go.
It was a legit question that I was gonna have. When you say it's been decommissioned, or is it, how far out of calibration is it?
It could do, if we pointed it, it would get 1 car, but it could pick up the second one next to it. So it's not as fine-tuned that I could point it at the president, but it could pick up the second one, and then, so we can't.
I'm just curious on the Pewaukee High School Raceway that takes place on Park Avenue in the morning. So I'm wondering if I can.
You can just hold a hairdryer. They don't notice. They don't notice.
Well, they're looking at their phones. They wouldn't notice anything, so.
I'm sorry, but the finish line is on School Street, dude.
I'll make a motion.
I play in that raceway too.
It's a circuit.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the new radar system.
Second, Gergen.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Discussion and possible action on intergovernmental agreement with City of Milwaukee for law enforcement services for the 2024 Republican National Convention. Again, Chief?
So the Republican National Convention is coming July 15th to 18th. 50,000 attendees, licensed delegates are going to be allowed in the secure area. We are not poised to set any specific officer to assist other than our tactical squad. So we have 3 members on our tactical squad. One of them did not request to participate because he's a drone operator. The other 2 are also Guard and Reservists, Army National Guard. So they requested from their Guard unit that they participate as a tactical officer. It hasn't been totally approved yet, but we're looking to, we anticipate 2 people being on the tactical squad to stand by in case something happens. So with that, we have to sign an agreement with City of Milwaukee. Now, looking at some of their past agreements, they had concerns that we had was dealing with the reimbursement in the effect of death or injury to our officers. A good example was when we back somebody up and somebody gets shot. Delafield had an incident. What happens if we respond to Delafield as mutual aid and something happens? So we look at these things very closely, and that's why we referred this to Attorney Blum to look at the language to see if he is in agreement, because initially they said they would not reimburse this, and another agency, Torrin Misco from Heartland, took the lead on this as from Skit and said, we'd like to look at some of this language, and they did accommodate our request for language, and then I will let Attorney Blum tweak this, because like he said last time, sometimes there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen on one of these agreements.
So this portion, or this issue, though, was addressed, as the chief indicated, because basically all the communities in Waukesha County that were part of SCIT were saying, we're not going to sign on to this. So obviously it's a resource that they needed to make sure was available to them, and so I think that maybe was the impetus for them being willing to make the change. So I looked at the revised language. I'm satisfied with it, that it addresses the concern that we had, which was the exclusion, as the chief indicated, of reimbursement in the event of death or significant disability. Typically, when the TACO members are going to Milwaukee, they're still working on behalf of the village police department. So, but they're under the direction, though, and we'll be working in teams that have an assigned member from MPD that they're working with. But they're still, working in their positions as Village Pewaukee officers as they're doing it. So what we were concerned about, though, is and as such, they're still going to be under our workers' comp and reimbursement requirements. So this addresses that issue, and so I'm satisfied with the contract as amended.
Any other questions or comments? Someone like to make a motion?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Does that then supersede, like, if we were in need of more officers for some reason here that
Good
weekend?
question. Yeah.
Would that, which takes precedence?
We looked at our staffing, and we can allow these officers to participate in skit. We also have the ability to terminate.
You have the option of saying, if you've got an emergent situation in the village for which you need all of your staff and you can't commit, you still have the right to make that determination, just as you would with any other mutual aid kind of request. So.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the intergovernmental agreement for law enforcement services for the 2024 Republican National Convention.
Second, Rody.
We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Discussion and possible action on scheduling special meeting for strategic plan update workshop. Scott?
Yeah, this request comes from Craig Roberts for the village board to consider two special meetings proposed off regular village board meeting weeks in June. He's hoping to have the environmental scan updated. We're hoping to have 2023 audit numbers, which would be wrapped into the updates, and he's also looking at reviewing survey data to start sharing and presenting that information to the board in terms of moving forward to the completion of the update to the strat plan.
Could we do Thursdays, June 13th and June 27th?
The 13th is a plan commission evening, or a meeting at 6 o'clock.
Would this be multiple meetings we're looking to schedule, or?
One each off week.
So the 27th would be okay, though, or the 25th? 25th, since it's a Tuesday and we're kind of used to Tuesdays.
Is the 25th the fourth meeting, the fourth Tuesday of the month, I'm gathering?
Yeah.
I won't be able to do that.
How long are we anticipating for meetings?
They're usually a couple of hours.
Couple hours usually for a strat. All depends how detailed you want Craig to get, I guess.
I don't think there's a limit on that.
No,
I can do the 27th
Of,
June.
June 27th.
I'll be going.
So is everybody available these weeks in general? Should I just say that first?
The 10th.
The week of the 10th and the week of the 24th?
I have the 25th and 27th available, and that's it.
I have the 25th available.
I can also do the 25th.
I'm available the 10th. The first and second week of June, I'm available. Next week, I'm available.
Week of the 10th, I just have the 11th, and that's the only day I can do.
What's that?
Otherwise, I'm pat.
So the 11th of June.
I could do June 11th.
Do we have to do these at our meetings? Can we just not do a doodle poll or something via email to sort out these dates? Is that allowable? No, it's not.
Sure.
Okay, because I just think it's so
For
much easier for
scheduling,
people
yes.
to schedule. I'd be happy to set up a doodle poll so that we can look at possible dates.
You're volunteering?
I'm volunteering. Yes.
Can they all go to her though?
No,
Sorry?
Can they all go to her? Because wouldn't that be like,
I'll help you set up a
As
doodle
long as
poll.
it's just for scheduling and it's not talking about the substance of it, I'm okay with that.
Either way.
Scheduling is not considered to be an issue.
You're just gonna do a
with the meeting
Google
itself.
poll form, right?
It just feels like
Yeah.
more efficient.
That's how I schedule stuff at my daughter's
Yeah.
school when I need to schedule meetings.
With so many people, like, it's crazy to try to talk to.
Can we do Zoom?
Under your ordinance, you'd have to designate it as being a Zoom meeting if you choose.
No, that's
to
why
do
I'm
that
just
route.
asking if,
Oh, because then you're
if
more
you're
available.
gone, could you still be at the meeting if you were on Zoom?
so we could,
Not a terrible idea.
we could include that on the doodle poll. Like
Do
the
in
date
person
and
or-
then in person or Zoom.
Yes, I think I can do that. I've never tried to set up two options for each date.
Doodle.
Doodle.
yeah,
Doodle.
okay. Yeah, use that then.
I heard Google, but
Doodle
whatever.
Doodle poll. Google probably does it too. I mean, they own
Of course
this.
they
They do everything.
Right, but yes, I will send a doodle poll, my friends,
Okay,
my colleagues.
we'll do it that way. Okay, then we'll move on. Discussion and possible action on transient merchant applications. Cassie?
Oh, it said, and then possible action, we have to make a motion on the scheduling to,
You don't have a date yet, though, to put in the
well, I
motion,
didn't know if we
right?
had to basically table it pending.
Do we have to do something
If you'd like
with
to be
this?
that formal.
We have to close out this agenda.
You can do that if you want to do it formally.
I have no problem being informal, that's for our attorney to decide.
We just didn't know the
have to close out
rules.
agenda.
It
If
says
you would
discussion
like
and
to-
possible action, right?
Yeah, so if, obviously, I think what'll happen is that when the doodle poll is completed, that trustee Krasovich will advise Scott about what the dates are that are acceptable, and then bring that back, assuming you can, before your next meeting for approval, I guess.
I just want to make sure that we were following.
If you'd like to table it, pending that, that certainly would be in order.
This is government in action.
Trying to make it easy on you, but.
Yeah,
Why?
Because it's my last meeting and for a while, and I'm just trying to give you a good going away present.
yeah.
Where was this mark for the past 4 years?
Oh, because I was an unreasonable ornery. Now I'm enlightened.
He's so
and
much
I'm
happier not
willing to be
spending
more
every Tuesday with
flexible as I hit the road.
It's a new mark.
Okay, so we're still wondering about the transient merchant application. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Yeah, is it for Windows or pest control?
Is it for what?
Windows or pest control?
Did I forget to change it from the last time? It's for pest control.
Okay, just wondering.
Sorry.
I was
I
kind of
just use the
confused.
same thing, you know?
I've had that problem too.
Yeah, like, oops.
It's a pest repellent that cleans windows.
Like, this is-
That's actually a good idea.
Would it keep the cicadas away when they come?
They maybe sell netting for that, I think.
Go ahead, Cassie. I think that's where we're at.
I'm supposed to present? Okay, so
Is there any questions or comments? If none, then can I have somebody make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the transient merchant application.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Discussion and possible action on agent change for beachside boat and bait. Cassie?
yep, this is easy. So Beachside Boat and Bait, they are asking for a new agent. We talked about this, I think, last week too with another place. So that's all.
Did we say at the last meeting if we could do
It
the?
was not allowed.
Oh, okay.
So,
We did.
That was the ornery version of me that sent a memo that said that you can't do that.
right,
And I still stand by
ornery
that.
mark.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You gotta realize which meeting you picked me at. to
I'll
ask the
make
question about.
a motion to approve the appointment of the new agent for liquor license at Beachside Boat and Bait.
Second, Rhodey.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Discussion and possible action on premise change for Beach House Bistro La Tova.
Okay, 1 second.
Cassie? Or should I just ask if there's anybody has any questions or comments? If there are no questions or comments, I'll look for a motion then.
Make a motion to approve the alcohol license, the change of alcohol license holder for Beach House Bistro and Trattoria.
Second, Kreitzer.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Committee appointments. I have a planning commission appointment. I'd like to appoint Mr. Bob Rhodey for the remainder of the 2 years on the planning commission. I would like somebody to make a motion to approve that.
Approve Bob Rhodey appointed to the planning commission.
Second, Gergen.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Then we're going to jump down to Park and Rec Board. Bob Rhodey has terminated his resignation, turned in his resignation from Park and Rec, and I'm going,
Terminated?
Wow.
not terminated, you turned in your.
You've been transferred.
Yeah. It's only been 30 years.
That's huge.
Yes, it was. I'd like to appoint Kristen Krauser to the trustee position at the Park and Rec. She has been a citizen member, and Bob asked me to just move her up into the trustee position. I feel she's very apt to do that. So, and she's said she'd like to do that.
I'd like to make a motion, to put Kristen into that position. She'll do a great job.
Second, Grabowski.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. And the trustee representative for the Historic Preservation Commission, I asked Kelly, and Kelly has said that she'd like to do that. So I'd like to appoint Kelly as our trustee representative for the remainder of the term 4/30/2025.
Make a motion to approve trustee Bell to the Historic Preservation Commission.
Second, Rhodey.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Discussion and possible direction on contract planner review process. Scott, would you like to?
Sure, just looking for some direction from the board. We have received 4 proposals or qualifications submitted for consulting planning services to replace Mary Sensky, who's taken a full-time position in a municipality after doing consulting planning for multiple communities. And just trying to get some direction if you want me to assemble a team to look at, evaluate, and make a recommendation to the board for a recommended consulting planner.
I guess what was the process prior to finding Mary?
I think that was 2008. I think there was, can't remember if it was an informal committee or a formal committee at that point, but I think there were 3 to 5 people involved in the screening process with the recommendation of the CLT ultimately being Mary. Certainly be looking to get some plan commission input or and staff input from a communication standpoint.
I wouldn't mind following a similar process as what we deem necessary for the administrator in terms of an informal search committee, more so than an ad hoc, but Attorney Blom, is that, kind of similar to how we gave the permission to village president, would we give it to village administrator to assemble?
You could do it the same way,
Process.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
And we don't need a motion.
If you'd like a motion at this point to get direction, you can do that.
There's nothing in my mind at this point.
Well, actually, it's possible
not-
direction.
yeah, direction.
So if you
We
wanna-
gave that direction.
Direction,
I'm not making a
Consensus on the
motion.
direction. Okay,
direction received, thank you.
moving on.
Okay, so we have direction now?
Sounds like it.
Okay, then I'm going to move
God
on.
knows what he's got to do.
Discussion and possible action on authorizing the village president to provide direction on financing plan to the village financial advisor regarding tax increment district number 4 related to debt issuance. Scott?
So that set forth in the staff reports, the basis of the TIF and the TIF amount that is the village can go up to, and there's a financing plan component. The current pro forma that was run by our financial advisor for the full amount does not cash flow in a positive manner. And there is a clause in the development agreement that allows for the village board to move forward from that and determine an amount that would cash flow. So what we're looking for is for the board to authorize the village president to work with staff and the financial advisor to look at options to bring back to the board a dollar amount that would cash flow in a positive manner, which is the key factor in the development agreement.
Just to add to that, I think the reasons for the fact that what's changed from when you approved this to today is changes in the interest rates, and the fact that you've got your fire and EMS fee. So what it does is it reduces the amount of your real estate taxes, which is the amount on which your tax increment is determined. So those are the factors that have led to the situation that we now have here.
And this is for Riverside?
Riverside
Yes.
Preserve, correct. And thank you for the clarification on that,
problem.
Mark.
Any further questions or comments? Do I have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to authorize that the village president provide direction on a financing plan to the village and regarding the tax incremental district and come back to the village board with a recommendation in the future.
Second, Gergen.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, because it says action here.
Yes.
Look at him, not me.
Any further questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried. Village Board meeting monthly approval of checks and invoices for all funds, April 2024. I will look for a motion to approve all funds except the library fund at this time.
So moved, Krasovich.
Second, Grabowski.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. And then I would like to have a motion to approve or acknowledge the library funds for April 2024.
Motion to acknowledge the library funds.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion again is hereby carried. Item 9, citizen comments.
Wait, no.
What's that?
There's one left.
The one.
Class C liquor license.
People sat here. They were dying to hear what we were doing with the library checks, but.
Where did I miss one?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, as a Mary.
The last agenda item.
There's none. I don't have anything.
Discussion of possible action on new Class C liquor wine license for Mix and Sense.
Oh, see, I don't have that on mine.
Well, so,
Yeah?
honest.
Good thing we're getting a new clerk.
Whoa.
Discussion and possible action on new Class C liquor license wine license for Mix and Sense.
Okay.
Are there any questions, comments, or corrections? Yes.
Oh, well, I was just going to explain that the DOR, our legislation, changed a lot of alcohol licensing things, I guess, and one of them was that you no longer have to be, a restaurant in order to get a Class C wine license. And since Mixon is approved for a beer license, they would like to have a wine license as well.
That's great to hear that they finally changed that requirement.
I'm so happy about that.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the new Class C liquor wine-only license for Mix and Sense.
Second, Gergen.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is hereby carried and adopted. Thank you. Are there any others?
That's it.
Okay, good night.
You don't have to read the citizen comments? 'cause
Okay, we have number 9, citizen comments. Everybody left. Item 10, closed session. The Village Board of Village of Pewaukee enter a closed session pursuant to Wisconsin Section 1985 1E for the purpose of deliberating and negotiating the purchasing of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session specifically regarding City of Pewaukee and governmental agreement regarding traffic signals at State Highway 164 and Lindsay Road. Now look for a motion to go into closed session.
Motion to go into closed session.
Second, Krasovich.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Whoops, I'm sorry, it should have been a roll call vote.
Oh.
Trustee Grabowski.
Yes.
Trustee Gergen. Yes. Trustee Rhodey. Yes. Trustee Belt.
Yes.
Trustee Krasovich.
Yes.
Trustee Kreiser.
Yes.
President Knutson.
Yes, we are now in closed session. Please turn your mics off.
Hold on one second.
But we will wait till the door Okay, item 12, adjournment.
Second, Krasovich.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are hereby adjourned. Thank you, everyone.